favorite memory from this year is probably leading Kairos and Castle. I really just put myself out there, and I really enjoyed giving a talk and just being in a small group. And I thought it was a really cool experience that I never would have had.
When you see people returning from a retreat and they start coming to 5 o'clock Mass or attending a life night, and just seeing them grow in their faith is always really nice to watch.
Yeah. I'd say I really enjoyed leading SFK 7 and 8 with the Kairos family, and I just really enjoyed seeing all my friends come, whether they be peers at school or really good friends of mine, and just helping them be led to Christ and see how much they appreciate our work and how enjoyable it was for them to feel God's love.
On Kairos this past February, I went to go find mINistrY, and when I found him, he was in his room and he was putting his shoes on, so I was with Brennan Margiata and we put his shoes on and I kissed his feet.
It's just really rewarding to lead retreats, and you give your testimonies and you just see how different teens react to your story, and there's just a lot of love at these retreats, so it's just happy times. So I love leading retreats. That's my favorite, and they're just the best.
So the most important quality I think that a peer minister should have is being respectful. Once you start leading retreats, it's really good to show respect for the retreatants as well as your fellow leaders and adult leaders, because once you show that respect, it's really easy for everyone to just feel comfortable around you, and once you show respect, they'll just show it right back, and that's really where friendships are really made, with respect and love and all that other stuff. So I think once you show respect, you get to just gain a bunch of friends, and eventually they don't really seem like friends anymore, they're more like family.
It's also important to be open to all the new experiences you're going to have with the other peer ministers, with the retreatants, and with God.
Just to love everyone. I know that sounds really crazy, but just trying to think everyone is your best friend and just being really happy and excited to worship Christ, because that's what we're ultimately here to do. Make ourselves have a better relationship with Christ, and more importantly, ministering to our peers who might need it more than we do.
I would say acceptance of everybody, because there are so many different people that are interested in peer ministry or should be interested in peer ministry, so you have to be accepting of everybody.
Peer ministers need to be curious. They just need to want to know more about their faith and more about what religion and Catholicism is all about.
I think you have to be understanding, because you're going to hear a lot of different things as a peer minister from different people, so you just have to realize that everyone is different, and people do fall down and make mistakes, and as a peer minister, I think you have to be the people that kind of lift them up. Like, you're there for anyone and everyone, basically, and you just have to realize that everyone's different, and you have to be caring and show people love in so many different ways, and you kind of just have to let them know that you really are there for them.
It's really important to be open-minded and obviously not judgmental like you learn on Castle, and I think it's really also important to be nurturing and just be able to give good advice and be there for people who need it.
For a peer minister to have is definitely just to be loving. It's really important that everyone in the group is accepting of each other, and they're willing to listen to each other and be there for each other if they need help.
Like Saints Night, because you learn a lot of different things about saints that you would never have thought, and you learn different stories about saints, and it's kind of cool because when you get confirmed, you pick a saint, and sometimes you just pick it because you like the name and you don't know the story behind it. But on Saints Night, you can really get to explore why you picked that name and the stories behind saints and what made them saints. So I thought that was a really interesting night. So
I liked the karaoke night last year, especially because Chris Chappis and I sang Broken Hearted to Pam.
Nights was Guardian Angels by Mrs. Nolan, and she told us this story about how this guardian angel protected her in the car, and that really made me think that I have a guardian angel too, which is crazy to think about, but we all do. And it was just really opened my mind to have that someone was actually protecting me, not just like God looking out for me, but an actual self-assigned guardian angel that was here for me at all times. And it just really made me feel loved and accepted.
Well, some of my favorites are the bonfires, since we just get to relax and, you know, just hang out with friends and, I don't know, be by a bonfire. But I also really like the Christmas life night, where everyone was wearing like these ugly Christmas sweaters, and we had this really cool photo booth. But my favorite part in that night was the gift exchange. And so, you know, everyone's really anxious about what gift they're going to get, thinking that they're going to get something really cool. So I pick up this really, really heavy box. So whenever you get like a heavy present, you think there's like a ton of stuff in here that's going to be like awesome. So eventually, you know, we start passing around the gifts around the circle, and I end up with my original gift, which was like this really heavy box. So I'm really excited. I open it up, and it's a bunch of trophies, like a bunch of really old trophies that I guess it was like the Bonifaces. So they're all these old, what were they? Like baseball and like softball trophies that didn't even have my name on them, but they just shoved them in a box at the last minute. And so I put it in my my closet with all my other trophies, but I don't know, I thought that was really funny.
I've been able to turn to PeeR ministry when things are going on in my life, and I know that God will truly be there for me all the time. But physically, I have my PeeR ministry family there for me too, and I've just really been fortunate to have this outlet where I can express myself and feel at home.
PeeR ministry has taught me to be accepting and open, but it doesn't make me a perfect human being. I've been told that I've been like a martyr, like trying to be all like high and mighty, and I think that's something I need to work on. I'm not perfect, but PeeR ministry has taught me to try and accept people for who they are and don't judge. I think that's one of the most important, is not to judge anyone for what they're going through, because there's a lot of haters out there drinking their haterade, and they just need to calm down. And so PeeR ministry has taught me to take a step back and just look at the world from how God sees it, and God loves everyone.
Pretty much the only place, or one of the only places, that I can be exactly who I am, and no matter what, I'm accepted, I'm accepted into the group, which is something that's hard to find in high school, no matter who you are. So it's a place where it's in the back of your mind that no matter who you are, you know that there are people that are going to be there for you no matter what, which is something that's really important to have.
I know that I'm not alone, and I know I have people that can always help me through no matter what. And it's not only changed me, but it's really changed my relationship with God. And before, I didn't really even interact with Him, but now it's just He's in my life, and it's such an amazing feeling knowing that. And you really do appreciate all the different memories that come from all of this, and then all the opportunities you've been given. And if anything, being a PeeR minister has really taught me that you can be grateful for everything, because there's beauty in everything. So yeah.
Well, there's a lot of ways, but I think primarily it's just taught me to always include God in each and every day that I have, and that I can always turn to Him for any help that I need, and to just be more understanding of other people around me and what they might be going through.
I think being a part of PeeR ministry has kind of given me a more solid foundation to build faith relationships with God, but also relationships with the other people I'm around, and that's something that I can take with me and bring to the whole rest of my life instead of just, Sunday nights.
It's definitely changed me in a lot of ways. It made me realize that I'm not the only one going through things in high school. Everybody's got their own issues. And just realizing that helps me makes going to school easier every day. It just knows that I have this group of awesome people that I can always turn to.
Being a PeeR minister has changed me completely. From freshman year during summer, going on Steubenville, that's where I really found my faith. And since then, I've just just dived headfirst into peer ministry, from leading retreats to being at Life Nights to just being like, I don't know, just being surrounded by like amazing people, and like the Holy Spirit has changed me completely. If peer ministry had never happened to me, if I had never like met these people, I don't think I would be going in the same direction as I am now. I'm going to a Franciscan university, and I'm majoring in nursing, and I don't think that if I had seen the love and support from all these other people that I would be so encouraged to want to help people for the rest of my life. So I think peer ministry has been like an overall blessing in my life, and I'm really, really going to miss it.
Do it. Just join peer ministry and then just get involved in as much as you can. I wish I got more involved in stuff like the food pantry. I never volunteered during peer ministry, and I really wish I had, because it just looks like so much fun. Like I always get these Snapchats from everybody there, and it looks like so much fun, and just really wish I was part of that.
Well, there's that quote that says, you'll always miss the chances that you don't take, and so I would just say put yourself out there and go to Life Nights and lead retreats like Castle, and apply to lead for Kairos, and just go on retreats and enjoy yourself, and you won't regret it.
Peer ministry can be challenging at times. You're going to be tested, and your faith's going to be tested, and it's going to be challenging, but it's so worth it. Being a peer minister is honestly, wow, I can't even believe that 2 years have already been gone, because it's just like, it's honestly like one of those experiences that you get that you can't just explain. Like, it's being a peer minister is so rewarding, and it's just like, it's allowed God to work within me through so many amazing ways, and I like thank God every day for the opportunity to be a peer minister. And so if anything, just like understand that it's going to test you at times, but being a peer minister is honestly like one of the best gifts you can receive from God. It's honest, like I can't even explain it because it's just hard to. But yeah.
I think the best advice I have is to have fun with it, and to always make sure that you kind of make time for God, because you know, a couple hours a week might sound like a lot, but you know, if God didn't make time for you, you wouldn't be alive. So I think that's something that I try to remind myself, and it's so much fun to do, so just keep at it, and you're not going to regret it in 2 years.
I would say my advice is to be open to everything, the good and the bad, what seems like bad. So yeah, I think that's it.
My biggest piece of advice for incoming peer ministers is jump all in. Experience everything you can, whether it be Life Nights or Steubenville or Catholic Hard Work Camp or Eucharistic adoration. Just try what you can, bring a friend, and it'll help you sort out what you like, what you think works best with your scheduling, or what really brings you closer to Christ.
You have the opportunity to join a remarkable program that will 100% be able to change your life. So if you're still on the fence about whether this is something you want to dedicate your time to, just look around at people that you see are peer ministers now. I think it's really obvious how close we've all become, and what a great support system you can have by being in this. And if that's not enough, think about the other people around you, because your decision to join peer ministry could be a decision that could help other people later on.